YouTube too. Kick, what's the deal? I'm gonna actually be looking at the chat on Kick today too. I know I'm horrible about that. But we back with another one. Let's hop into this. First, I got a video up. Thank you, YouTube, for joining. We here. Put some ones in the chat. I was looking. Did you even get to any part of my list last time? Yeah, we did. We watched. You weren't even here, bro. What do you mean? That's sad, Johnny. I hate to hear that. I hate to see that. You was not here, bro. You missed it. Hey, you just gonna give me a list to watch and then you're not even there to see it. Yes, we watched 2 of those long ass videos after that. I'm talking about I was asleep. Yeah, well, yeah, we watched all that. So thank you. I even did some clips too. I did some clips of the university experiment where they're doing the experiment about the different the key fobs, or when they're using some website to they reverse engineer some stuff. Okay, boom. All right, I see the kick finally too. I gotta change the title. Oh man, so many. We need a new app that's gonna change the title to everything. Dude, you gotta change like 30 titles before you go live. Do 40 notifications. Okay, let me get up into this. Yeah. So we're good. He said, so I can update. There's a new 007 trailer. What? They're still doing stuff for that? They're still making. They're still trying to do some ads for that. That's interesting. All right. Speaking of ads, let's start off with this Resident Evil trailer. Ooh,
hey, man, I gotta be 7. Do you know where I can take this? Excuse me, oh my God.
Run that back. Ooh, so that's happening. That's up. Yo, I might have to watch that one, chat. We might have to look at that. It looks good. I do have some unrelated topic. Okay, let's start with some of the world topics, and then we'll go into some of these pop culture. Yeah, some pop culture stuff that we can get some clips with. Yeah, some new Nikkei stuff today, you saying? Nice. Today's the best day to do story one because all the free-to-play players have gotten the chance to finish. And also, the writers and producers and musicians and voice actors have outdone themselves again, including Suyin Lore. Ugh, okay. Sounds good. W information. All right, so I know last time we talked a little bit about the Mom Donnie, right? How he was, he made his political stunt, a PR stunt, to attempt to saying that he was going to nab Netanyahu, knowing damn well that shit was not about to happen. We got a Jewish leader firing back, essentially, which, as we know, I was expecting some Jewish voices to come forward even way earlier, like right. They probably already on this case. But anyway, let's see what this gentleman has to say. This is a Jewish leader blasting Ma'am Danny after the New York City stabbings. And
the mayor speaks, we need the police. Today, every time the mayor speaks, we need the police to protect us. It was meant to be a day to commemorate the tragedies that have befallen the Jewish people throughout our history. But when a member of our community was stabbed on his way out of the synagogue, the evil we gathered to remember stopped belonging to the past. Suddenly, it was right here in the present. When public officials repeatedly cast the Jewish community as a stand-in for actions of the Israeli government that create a climate in which Jews become targets. When I was growing up, the only time we saw security outside of my synagogue or outside of my Jewish day school was when the mayor came to speak. The police were there to protect him. Today, every time the mayor speaks, we need the police to protect us.
Wow.
Jewish life in America is starting to feel like Jewish life in Europe.
Dang.
Armed guards, bulletproof glass, and the constant fear that yesterday's rhetoric will turn into today's assault.
Wow.
So many people know Moshe. So many people care about him. He was just trying to pray at his synagogue. And now we're the ones praying for his recovery. To have been stabbed 200 feet from the Jewish center evokes all the worst images of the Jewish past. If a Jew can't feel safe walking home from shul in broad daylight on a Thursday afternoon on the Upper West Side of Manhattan, then something has gone profoundly wrong, not only for the Jewish community, but for our city. I want to thank Micah for calling right away to offer his support. I want to thank Jessica Tisch and the NYPD for their swift response. And I want to thank all the communal leaders who have come together today. We may not share the same religion, but we share the same faith. Faith in the dignity of every human being, and faith that together we can help rebuild this great city.
Okay, so that was a gentleman on, well, I guess, yeah, there was a horrific incident that involved, stop fanning the earth comes to charge the deranged attacker. Somebody stabbed two men in the Upper West Side. Okay. Dang. The suspect, Raul Morales, 51, allegedly yelled, Allahu Akbar, as he attacked the two victims, one Asian and one Jewish, in separate attacks from Central Park on Thursday afternoon. Crazy work, man. Crazy work. Oh, all right. See, I almost missed this one. This Yellow Beezy incident, which I've been following the case too. It's been going crazy, y'all. I have been following the case. It's been going way up. Let me see if it's going to keep the queue still. Did we lose our queue? Not next. Dang, I think I done lost the queue. Turns out it's not her fault. She's an insufferable. Of course, everybody has a sob story, right? Everybody has a backstory. And everybody talks big. Let's see if we're going to see if they really did right or ain't good. Other mommy. What? From IG. Let me see this trailer from this new movie coming out and see if this is going to be worth it. Hey, no, not
Brittany Renner.
We got another doppelganger movie. Okay, all right. Now next up we go. Flacco's gonna be talking about DJ Academics a little bit here, which we're gonna we'll skip through this one. We ain't gonna watch too much of this. Brody said they literally took the most unfriendly kids movie and turned it into a more unfriendly. Nah, because I knew they were probably gonna do something to explain it. But I was not expecting the insane reason given. Oh, okay. You're talking about Coraline. I think I might, yeah, that one is kind of creepy, ain't it? Yeah, that one is creepy. When they take, yeah, for sure. Yeah, they're doing the most with that. All right, let me see here. We had, okay, Academics, I think he made a statement on Brittany Renner. You know, I think I want to pass on that one because we already know what the hell Brittany Renner done. We know how she got her riches. If not, it's not really to be studied. She just was in the right place at the right time, clicked up, shacked up with a couple of athletes, got a kid by him, and then, yeah, got half of the money. Got a big child support payments, and is out here like down bad and kind of low key. Looks like she's sad, but she claims she's happy, living her best life. Which more power to her, but there's some people in the manospheres coming out that are kind of downplaying or at least just trying to bring her back down to earth. One of which is Academics, and I know Myron did a big think piece on the situations. I think we'll go ahead and just bypass that one for tonight. I think there's more important topics and more entertaining topics at that. Damn, but she came up twice again. Oh, hold on. All right, let's talk about the rapper, the Yellow Beezy situation.
Dallas rapper Yella Beezy and his two co-defendants in a murder-for-hire case are set to stand trial August 24th. His real name is Marquise Conway. Prosecutors say he paid a hitman to gun down his rap rival on 35 in Dallas, November of 2020. And a debate in the case is whether rap lyrics can be used as evidence. Fox 4's Lori Brown live with the story. Lori.
Heather, today attorneys for the accused hitmen and prosecutors argued if the gunman should stand trial first or the rapper accused of hiring him. Here is the backstory. Dallas rapper Yella Beezy, whose real name is Marquise Conway, is accused of hiring Kewan Dontrell White to shoot his rap rival, Mo 3, whose real name is Melvin Noble. Prosecutors say the two rappers had a long-standing feud that Conway also wrote about in his lyrics. White, the alleged hitman, was arrested in December 2020 and is serving an 8-year, 9-month federal prison sentence on firearm charges related to the incident. The judge ruled today that White will still stand trial first, but his defense attorneys argued the man accused of hiring him should be the first on trial.
Mr. Conway's attorneys have absolutely no duty to disclose anything to the state about what their defense is or anything to any of the other co-defendant attorneys about what their defense may be. And it may be that the only way that we can discover that there is some alternative theory, that there is some other evidence that exists that would benefit our client in his defense is through that trial, is through Mr. Conway's trial.
We are asking the court to do what's right, not only by the criminal justice system, but by the family, and let this community hear this case of the man who is alleged of shooting and killing Melvin Noble on I-35 and is also charged with aggravated assault for shooting a neurosurgeon in the head that day on the freeway.
White's attorney argued that there could be...
There goes Kewan White in prison, or in the court. Dang, this dude, when he first went in, looked completely different. Yeah, I remember when this case first happened, or when the news first broke. I even remember that, like, a lot of and I'm sure a lot of people do remember as well, a lot of the back and forth that was going on online, the music that was happening, that was being exchanged between the two and given to the audience, the Instagram back and forth. And dude, y'all remember the Trap Boy Freddy song on World Star called Hypocrite? It was great music. It was like, that was like Dallas's Tupac and Biggie situation back in the day, man. Back in the day, it was really like only 4 or 5 years or so. But dang, when he first went in, the dude was like a skinny, young skinny. Now he's like, man, you could tell the stress has just been kind of getting to him. He done gained a whole lot of weight in there. But it looked like they're trying to put it off on Yella Beezy now.
Neurosurgeon in the head that day on the freeway.
White's attorney argued that there could be bank statements and other financial records that could come out at Conway's trial, and not knowing about those documents puts their client at a disadvantage. Prosecutors argued that with White in custody since 2020, his counsel has had plenty of time to seek out those documents on their own.
Dang, that's been 6 years, bro, since 2020. What? Dang, it feel like it was not that long ago. 6 years, just like that.
Plans to make a decision about whether or not rap lyrics are admissible at a later time. The judge asked attorneys to make sure that all 3 defendants are ready to stand trial August 24th in case a plea deal ends up changing the schedule. Heather.
All right, Lori Brown live in Dallas. Thank you.
That's happening. Hopefully broken. I don't know. I'm gonna be looking at the case though. We're gonna see what the hell happens. All right, now the one that I wanted to get to earlier, right? We're gonna start off since we're moving to the point and shoot videos. This one I know is about to be funny. Excuse me. From point and shoot, they talk about no jumper. Let's get it.
All right, so for this video, I want to talk to you guys about this beef that's heating up between Musty Minyango Tokpa
Frederick Jala is my real name,
and the mayor Munchie B from Englewood Family Blood Gang.
Good question.
But again, bro.
Hey, you about to look stupid. You know they clipping us, right?
And this beef has reached a level the likes of which we have never seen. I mean, we've seen them go back and forth already. Munchie B was the one who broke the original story about Jala tricking and jawing across this nation.
He paid $2,500 for the box.
Paying for women and stuff to perform onto him and everything else like that. Well, the other day, the cuck was able to get Jala and Munchie B on the phone live on air.
What?
And it was fabulous. I mean, wait till you see these clips.
This nigga said an underage prostitute.
I could prove that, bro. Don't force my
This
hand.
is nothing like what we've seen. We've seen Jala respond to Munchie before, but he kept it cool. He pretended like this, like prostitution was normal and everything. Remember?
What can I say, bruh? All right. I ran through half of LA, man. What can I say, man?
Well, he ain't keeping it cool this time. Lush says that he hasn't seen Jala this mad, and Lush is up close to Jala all the time. He says he hasn't seen Jala this mad since the day that he bursted into the office when he wanted to attack MJTV.
What? No, hey, I ain't gonna lie. He was out of character.
I never heard you.
that was a lot.
No, the only I seen him mad only once like that was when he came to fight MJTV.
Oh yeah, I heard about that. He was running around this
But
room,
he
right?
busted in the door and was like, and he was knocking over cameras.
For some reason, there's some real heat right there between.
You know what? I'd actually like to play that clip for old time's sake. Let's go ahead and roll that.
Get your buddy.
Yeah.
This shit the industry. It's time today.
Oh shit! Oh shit! No, nigga, get off!
Hold on. Watch the camera. Watch the camera. Watch the camera, man.
You do it outside. Just do it outside. Yeah, we outside, bitch. Come on. Go outside. Come, yeah. Come on, no, bro. We outside, bitch.
Yeah, you go outside. Go outside. Take that shit outside.
Come on.
He was very upset that day. He could barely speak. MJTV was calling him David M. Jala, who's a sex criminal. And Jala was fucking pissed. And so he wanted to beat up MJTV. And so he showed up and they did this. And then they went outside and then no one did anything. And they talked it out. And I think they're friends now. But that's the maddest he's ever been. Now the second maddest is now that Munchie's accusing him of underage commercial degeneracy. If you
Right? No. I never paid for ass, bro. You fucked the bitches underage, and then you said no. She was 18 and 6 months. You fucked the bitches underage, and then you said no. She was 18 and 6 months. What? Who count months with adults? If your daughter is 19 months, that's one thing. Adult to say adult, she was 18 years old and not in 6 months. You're a predator. Hey, bro. Look,
So
listen.
Munchie's got this ducktail back here, this tuft of hair, like on his mid neck. It's like a little strip of hair, but it's supposed. So this is actually supposed to be up higher, right up underneath. The line for this should be right up underneath the occipital protuberance. But this isn't that. It looks. I mean, it's just what is this? Shave this off and start over a little higher. Okay. Let's continue with this video.
Hey, if you gonna pay for some pussy, why pay for an 18-year-old anyway? No. If you gonna pay for some ass, why pay for an 18-year-old?
So Munchie's asking pretty simple questions. They're like yes or no format. It's very simple. It's very understandable. The questions aren't super out of line or disrespectful. It's actually honest journalism, in my opinion. Those were great questions. But Jala didn't want to answer him. He wanted to give another answer to a question no one asked, which is whether she came to No Jumper or not. What? That's what Jala's yelling about, and his stutter is so forcible. It's so like when Jala sounds like this, in between words, that's when we've got a Jala. That's the sign of a Jala right there, a very angry Jala.
Why not 30? Answer that. Answer that. Man, it wasn't a lie, bro. I don't want to keep dragging K7 into this, bro. That's why I left it alone.
You lied and said an underage prostitute.
The girl confirmed it.
For sex. The bitch never been to No Jumper.
The girl confirmed what year y'all had sex, bro.
Jala sounds winded.
Jala is my real
He paid $2,500 for the box.
And it's not. That's my new soundboard, by the way.
He paid $2,500 for the box.
I love that. So, Jala is out of breath. He can barely. He's about to pass out. He's so angry.
Munchie, you are lying, bro.
She confirmed it.
It's confirmed already. You lied, bro.
Bro. She confirmed it on her story.
Digressing. You was a liar.
Hey, bro. Hey, that's on Inglewood Family, and I don't be banging on here. Oh, bro, the girl confirmed what year y'all had sex, bro. It ain't changed. I been said you fucked a minor. What are you talking about change, dummy? Hey, bro, it was on her story. Hey, hold on. Hey, do you pay for pussy, yes or no? Do you pay for pussy, yes or no?
Stop digressing into
do you pay for pussy, yes or no?
You said it, bitch.
That's against the law.
Listen to how emotional Jala is getting this. I mean, he's very upset. He does not want this spoken of.
Your bitch called you a liar.
My bitch.
K7 girl called you a liar. I called you a liar. You got no fucking.
Oh, your feelings.
I fucking said. Listen, bring facts and proof about.
Already did.
A bitch that came to No Jumper. 25.
Okay, let's just say she didn't come. Did you pay for the 18-year-old?
You was a fucking nigga. Listen, bro. The bitch called you a liar.
Did you pay for the 18-year-old?
Everybody called you a fucking liar.
Answer the question.
But again, bro,
Hey, you about to look stupid. You know they clipping this, right?
Stop deflecting.
Hey, did you pay for the 18? Because I'm being nice calling her 18-year-old.
Called you a liar. Again, bro, you's a fucking bitch. You's a fucking fraud and a fucking liar, nigga. Get the fucking proof, bitch ass.
Hang up. Are you done?
Again, bro, you's a fucking ass nigga. Right.
Okay, this is where Jala hangs up. Listen to this scream. This scream sent chills down my spine. Look at this.
She is. I'm being nice, bro.
No, it's changing, right?
No. She...
Get your fucking proof.
Oh my
Present your
God.
proof online for everybody to see.
You see how guilty this nigga sounding, right? Hey, bro. Hey, listen. Hey, listen, bro. Hey, why you so upset, bro?
Nope.
That was incredible. That was just, I mean, I just had so much enjoyment from watching that. And Munchie says that he has proof. Let's take a look at what Munchie said later on that, or this is the next day. Munchie says this.
And throw that up. On her story, she say, I'm not explaining nothing. You know what I'm saying? We was effing from 2024 to 2020.
Well, let's read the whole thing. At the end of this, supposedly the lady's story. At the end of the day, y'all need to stop putting my name in some shit. Like, be for real. What do I have to do with y'all beef? I have nothing to do with it. Don't come asking me shit because I'm not talking about shit. Not clearing up shit. Everybody know what's up. This shit was 2024, 2025. It's 2026. So now clearly y'all bored.
25. 2024, she was 17. She was born in 06. Right now, she will be 19, and she will be 20 in November later this year. Later this year. Or is it December? Yeah, okay, November later this year. You is a predator. I wish the audio didn't mess up earlier so I could play the rest of it, but I'm going to make it a whole different video so I can just play the whole thing. When you was sounding dumb on the phone, I just made you look stupid on B-Team. The Tuesday show, when he called in, where's the proof? Where's the proof? He called me a B-I-T-C-H, whatever. He called me a bitch. He said I'm fraud. She said I was lying. She said I was lying. He said I was lying. Bro, right here on the screenshot, the girl said that y'all girled in 2024, 2025. She's 19 right now. And everybody in the chat know math. You's a greasy neck African that need to go back.
Now, apparently, from
that's
my understanding,
crazy.
Munchie has a personal connection to these
What's
girls.
good, John? What's good? How we doing, Rowan? They're here just talking about Poetic Flacco. Man, said he done got caught down bad. We're just going through the topics, just seeing what some of the trending stuff is, and then about to get into some Fortnite, and then tech and stuff like that. What you getting into, homie? How are you? Yeah, I'm well. Thank you for asking. Just having snacks and vibing on this fabulous Friday.
Has information that's not known to the public, and he's saying that he can actually produce this.
Yeah.
If he needed
I could go
to.
deeper into this girl and her true age, but I don't want to drag somebody else into it.
Yeah.
I never heard him hot like that.
And Munchie also says that he's on Jala's bumper and that the videos will not stop.
Whoa.
Hey, bro. Hey, listen.
You really did a hard pivot into the underage prostitute allegation thing.
Hey, look.
That's their number one point of contention at this point.
I mean, it's
I could go further. I just took a hiatus on the Flacco thing.
Now, to be fair, Jala said that this girl that he allegedly paid for sex was over the age of 18. But that's interesting because Jala considers 18-year-olds to be kids.
Virgil Jala is
He
my
paid
real name.
$2,500 for the box.
So that's really interesting.
Imagine being an
Amen,
18-year-old
bro.
kid who trusted your big homie. Nolan is an 18-year-old kid who 12 is like the average 18-year-old kid.
So when Jala sees an 18-year-old, he sees a kid. They're like kids to him. When he sees an 18, he goes, look at that kid over there. He's probably 18. But when he sees an 18-year-old girl, that's a whole different story. Jala is a very proud promoter and defender of old grown men having sex with barely legal teens. Look at this clip.
Even though the idea of a man in his 30s or 40s wanting a 21-year-old or a 19-year-old is off-putting and kind of creepy, there's really no argument you can make for why it's immoral. Because us as a society has come together and decided that at 18 years old, someone got the cognitive functions and abilities to make decisions for themselves. So if an 18-year-old or 19-year-old, 21-year-old choose to date a 30 and 40-year-old, well, there's nothing we can say about that.
There you go. Jala says that there's nothing you can say about it, even though they're 18-year-old kids. According to him, it's still, hey, it's legal. You can't be prosecuted by the state. Therefore, there's nothing you can say about it.
And I can prove that she was 18 when we linked up.
And Moose Knuckle has broken the treaty with Jala. He is now beefing with Jala also. Let's take a look at that.
Saying that like Ricky got him and Flacco back on good terms, but it was like fake good terms because Flacco has been taking shots and hating on him low key.
Yeah.
That fat fuck been sending slick shots after the phone call me and him had. That girl he bought was at best freshly 18, so I guess that beef's on and popping now again.
Yeah, no, for sure. But think about how slick
But
that
he sent it in a text message.
Okay, so that's all we know so far. We're going to keep our eyes on this story
his
as
ass
it
for real, man.
develops.
Give me
So
1 second.
please keep your eyes peeled for updates. Go subscribe to Munchie B's channel, Morals Over Money. It's highly entertaining whenever he uploads. Please go and support Munchie B on his YouTube channel. Okay, so thank you guys, and I'll see you in the next one.
Here in the U.S., a gut-wrenching scene in a Georgia courtroom. The sentencing hearing for a teenage gunman who pleaded guilty to a deadly high school shooting. 2 students and 2 teachers killed. Prosecutors playing audio of the gunman, in his own words, sobbing as he described preparing for the shooting, torn about whether to go through with it. Here's ABC's Faith Abube.
Tonight, for the first time since the Georgia student shot and killed 4 people inside Appalachian High School, the teenager, in his own words,
I'm so sorry.
The then 14-year-old sobbing in a police interview played during today's sentencing hearing, telling investigators he had second thoughts just before he carried out the deadly massacre in September 2024.
I had a moment of like in the bathroom, I was like, I really shouldn't do this.
Coach Gray blaming his degrading mental health, and at one point saying in the interview that he warned his father before the deadly school shooting.
I told him to hide his guns and he did, but I don't know how I found them.
The courtroom gripped with emotion as the teenager entered a guilty plea, admitting to all charges in his 55-count indictment. It was nearly 2 years ago when the chaos unfolded just about an hour outside Atlanta. Gray killing 2 students and 2 teachers with a gun his father bought him as a Christmas gift. 9 others were injured and an entire school of kids left traumatized. Gray's father, Colin, convicted earlier this year after prosecutors say he repeatedly ignored red flags. At one point during today's victim impact statements, Gray laughing with the courtroom, but only for a moment. Survivors and victims' loved ones sharing their pain.
I have lived 688 days so far. I was sentenced with no parole, and that is what he should receive as well.
And Lindsay, with his guilty plea today, Gray's fate now lies in the hands of the judge, and there are only 2 options: life in prison with or without parole. Lindsay.
Faith Abube for us. Thank you.
Today, every time the mayor speaks, we need the police to protect us.
Okay. All right,
It was
so
meant
that's
to
pretty
be a
much
day
all
to
the
commemorate the
reactions.
tragedies
Double
that
check
have
with the
befallen the
homies.
Jewish people throughout our.
Double check with my cronies and see what the lick read.
Of course, I have to do the 5 things worth the money.
All right, let's start off with the 40. Let me see. Is there any big topics we need to cover today? We got Charleston White Chicken hosts. Oh, rapper YG is detained. All right, I think that's mainly it, chat. I think that's all the ones we got. We'll end off on this. NVIDIA's AI factory opens up in Fort Worth. All right, we could just look at this one.
The biggest name in advanced computer chips is bringing a big investment to Fort Worth. NVIDIA will build a new factory to support the growth of artificial intelligence. Fox 4's Alex Boyer has more from
Is it a
today's
data center,
announcement.
though?
Hi, Alex.
Hi, Clarice. And this new AI factory is going to build supercomputers right here in North Texas. You know, this new facility represents a $700 million investment right here in the city of Fort Worth. Take a look. The new state-of-the-art facility will assemble and test NVIDIA's most advanced AI systems, which were previously assembled overseas. They'll be made right here at a facility called Winston D1. Now, this is what those so-called supercomputers look like. They weigh about 2 tons and cost approximately $4 million to build each. This one AI factory will build thousands of them. Then those computers are transported to another AI factory that takes energy and converts it mathematically into what's called tokens. Those tokens are turned into artificial intelligence that can be words, numbers, stories, even solving problems.
The old generation of data centers used a lot of water and used evaporative cooling technology. Now it's all 100% liquid cooled as recirculation of liquid cooling, and therefore the amount of water it uses is extremely low. The energy efficiency is incredibly high, and so I would encourage everybody to, if you worry about data centers, replace the old ones. I know that all these data centers are cropping up so fast, and it's changing the shape of the communities. We all, the data center builders, these AI factory builders, have to be much more sensitive to the local communities. Give them plenty of time to plan with you, and along the way, improve the local community.
So the City of Fort Worth's Economic Development Office says that this factory has created 800 new jobs in the area. Today's grand opening comes at a pivotal time in the city of Fort Worth, where leaders are grappling with what type of growth they want to see in their city. Earlier this month, 5 council members signed a letter calling for a temporary data center moratorium. That action follows this public forum you see there, where citizens express their concerns surrounding the future of data centers in Fort Worth. There's currently 4 existing facilities, 1 under construction, and 4 others are nearby in their planning stages. I asked the Fort Worth city manager, who was here at the grand opening, about those concerns.
I think you're specifically talking about data centers, right? Which is a totally different type of use when it comes to the actual land use that's involved. And really, they're not necessarily a moratorium on data centers themselves. It's the moratorium is so that we have more time to put in appropriate regulations.
So you feel there's a balance there that can be a win for the city and for these AI and data centers and things.
I think there needs to be a balance. I mean, I think when you talk about the situation that a lot of Texas cities are in, even though we're growing because of how appraisals are working and those kind of things, in order for cities to be able to provide the services to the community, especially to homeowners, industry like data centers are going to be key to providing the tax base of the future.
And so at a meeting on August 11th, Fort Worth City Council will vote on whether or not to adopt that proposed moratorium, allowing a longer window, as the city manager mentioned, to draft guidelines that future data centers built in the city would have to abide by. Now, NVIDIA's CEO, meanwhile, tells me that really he understands the concerns by cities like Fort Worth and municipalities all across the state, and he encourages that they spend the millions of dollars in revenue that will be generated by these AI factories and reinvest that to modernize city infrastructure, as well as invest in the power grid. Back to you.
All right, Alex, thanks.
Just got an update, and somehow it just got even worse for our main character here, known as EK.
Story time about how my current roommate scammed me, the one I'm living with right now.
So you guys might remember the fire escape girl, or the New York City nightmare roommate, that I covered a little over a week ago, when she essentially went viral for this 30-part nightmare roommate series.
I'm on the brink of losing my housing, and I don't know what to do anymore.
Her name is EK, and she's a small artist living in New York making cat worry stones. I didn't know what a cat worry stone was until I made my last video, but it's apparently one of these. So this is what she does, and I guess while dealing with housing frustrations, she decides to do what a lot of people do these days. She takes it to social media.
24 hours ago, I was told by my current roommate that I was getting kicked out at the end of June, even though I moved in a month ago.
And I guess, unfortunately, what was supposed to be a few TikToks about a roommate allegedly trying to kick her out ended up completely backfiring. And suddenly, the internet came to the conclusion that maybe EK is actually the problem here.
Started documenting that on social media, and I fully take ownership. None of this would have happened had I not come to social media in the first place. I have learned my lesson. I will not do this again. And as my community was watching all of this unfold in real time, they were asking for other ways to support. I fully recognize now how tone deaf it came across by setting it up. I didn't consider that, and I should have.
But mostly, though, it wasn't her roommate's fault that she couldn't qualify for the lease herself.
We finally get through all of the stupidity with my current roommate, only to now run into issues with the landlord. They are now saying there is an issue with my income.
And let's be real. I mean, it's one thing to have a actual terrible roommate, but to paint someone like an evil mooch who's trying to ruin your life when they just don't want to use the same dish rack as you is obviously a massive overreaction.
When I moved in, I had a different dish rack than her, the one that has walls on this side. She just had a flat dish rack where she would just kind of awkwardly and haphazardly pile up the dishes. And I was like, hey, I've got this other dish rack. Would you be open to us giving it a try? Immediately she shut it.
And also, going to your business profile and asking for GoFundMe donations while apparently refusing to get a real job, obviously that's not gonna go well, especially when you choose to live in one of the most expensive cities in the world. Because it's not like she moved to New York because she had to be in New York for work. She sells cat worry stones online. She could easily live in a way cheaper city and still sell those cat worry stones and probably not be extremely stressed out about bills.
A few days ago, I wound up starting a GoFundMe to help raise money and try to get the apartment to myself for a month, like to buy me time to pay that rent. And I felt very weird starting it because it's like, feels like there are much better causes than this. But I also know I genuinely need help. I work my ass off on my art shop, especially on social media with filming and editing videos, because that's how I market myself.
Well, I guess it's safe to say that it didn't, because EK's nightmare roommate came back with a reply of her own that definitely turned the whole tide.
A sublet I met about a month ago made a 30-part TikTok series about me, and I want to address a few things. We're gonna keep it short and straight to the point because 30? I genuinely don't know how any of this is my fault. You started subleasing a few weeks ago. A sublease is temporary by definition, meaning I don't owe you shit.
But I guess before everything went south, EK did manage to raise a few $1,000s for a GoFundMe and apparently secured herself the apartment for a year. So that is kind of interesting, but if she couldn't originally qualify for the lease, she might have just put herself in a very financially stressful situation. But of course, the GoFundMe did bring in a whole bunch of new hate comments, which resulted in EK shutting it down and claiming that once she had confirmed her housing situation, that she would be giving back to the community, whatever that means.
I have always wanted to be able to pay it forward and pay it back. And now that I finally have stable housing, I get to do that. I'm going to be taking a little bit of time from social media, but during this time, I'm going to be actively researching organizations I want to contribute to, both with my time and resources, and I will actively keep you updated on all of that.
But I guess after this whole mess, EK announced that she would be laying low, but the internet hasn't stopped digging into the situation, and naturally, they found more to talk about. Because Marilyn, the evil roommate in the story, obviously has social media of her own, and she continues to post content. And just to add insult to injury, she just got sponsored by a moving company since all of this went down.
Are you and your roommate fighting about a dish rack? Well, look no further, because Roadway has you covered.
Yeah, that's right. Not only did she just take this 30-part series about her in stride, but she's actually using it to her advantage. But all this attention on her page has people noticing a few things. First, she doesn't seem to be a nightmare by any measure, and there's also the fact that she's been posting about apartment hunting almost as long as EK was posting about her allegedly kicking her out.
I've lived in the same apartment for about 3 years now, and I think it's time for a change. Hi, my name is Marlon. I'm currently living here in New York City, and today we are apartment hunting.
Which also led a lot more people to point more fingers at EK. I mean, she was already under fire for stretching the truth and trying to act like struggling to secure a good apartment in a popular city isn't a very universal experience for everyone. Because let's be real, New York City is not an easy city to live in unless you get paid a whole lot of money, or you have some sort of trust fund somewhere, or you live way far out there. Yet EK has been acting, I guess, blindsided by everything Marilyn does, while she's very publicly posting herself looking for somewhere to go. But now things have gotten even crazier, because if you remember from EK's original stories, she befriended the previous roommate that she got a sublet from and was essentially using that ex-roommate to validate her side of the story.
I got some tea from the girl who lived before me, and it gave so much context into some intuition that I had about my roommate, as well as what my role was in this scenario.
I were never told their name, but this mystery ex-roommate actually becomes sort of an important corroborator of EK's version of events. So together, they claim that Marilyn is actually a mooch who is just mad that EK wasn't going to share food or do her dishes for her. And that's apparently why she was so nasty about the dish rack and was allegedly kicking her to the curb.
The person who lived here before me, she did not realize how much this roommate was mooching off of her. She would cook for them often, clean up after the girl. When I moved in, it's funny because I had a weird sense of, I feel like she is going to expect us to share food. And I find out that she used to share food with the roommate before me. And so when she found out that I wasn't going to be sharing my food with her, I think that must have been when it shifted.
But as it turns out, however, Marilyn has a story time of her own about the ex-roommate from months ago and why she ended up moving out. And it also makes things look a whole lot different.
Story time about how my current roommate scammed me, the one I'm living with right now.
Yeah, so this ex-roommate who's accusing Marilyn of being a mooch was actually apparently scamming her out of money and not using it to pay their bills. Uh-oh.
I told her, I'm like, hey, we should just pay those bills separately and just not send each other the halves because it's kind of stupid. It's the same amount. And she was like, yeah, let's do that. We've been living here for 2 years now. We re-signed the lease for the second year. We no longer needed the guarantor. When we re-signed the lease back in June of last year, that's when we started splitting up the Con Ed bill.
So essentially, they each paid certain bills, and at some point, the roommate just stopped paying. But instead of telling Marilyn, she decided to tell her that the company just wasn't accepting her payment, or something like that.
I don't remember or recall when she stopped paying, but I remember specifically her telling me that the Con Ed wasn't taking her payment anymore. So the story is, since May, she hasn't been getting charged from Con Ed, but she says she called a couple of times. That might be a lie though. It most likely is. But they basically told her they couldn't help her over the phone with the Con Ed bill, that they're just waiting to see, something like that, something along the lines of that. She hasn't been paying it for 3 months now. Because mind you, I was paying right now. Okay.
She was essentially just making up excuses until it hit the fan, I guess.
So May, June, and I believe July, we had zeros in the account, right? So none of it was paid. And then there comes a bill of over $2,000, I believe. That's when my roommate tells me, hey, they sent me a bill that's over $2,000 because I haven't paid these past 3 months. Which I was like, what the hell? I don't know where they send you this big ass bill for these 3 months, which is crazy. In the span of 3 months, we use that much electricity? Come on now, that's crazy.
Because obviously, you can't get away with not paying the bills forever. Eventually, someone's gonna come knocking, or what happens if they turn the power off, or one of the utilities. Obviously, she's going to find out the truth eventually. But Marilyn says the lies only continued, apparently.
I remember her saying that she called, and she basically had it resolved. She texted me, she said, hey, I got it refunded, whatever. I disregarded it because I was like, good, you should have. Fast forward to September. September is where this falls out. So towards the end of August, she basically tells me that Con Ed actually reached out to her and said she actually has to pay that. So they end up changing their minds out of nowhere. I don't know if this is true, so bear with me.
I don't know what kind of company would refuse to accept a payment and then randomly go back and forth on having to pay a $2,000 bill. Utility companies do two things. 1, provide the utility. 2, accept payments. For the most part, that's all they have to do. So, there's a big problem if they can't accept the payment, so it just doesn't make sense. Regardless, there's also workarounds. So if, let's say, if your card's not working, you could easily write a check and mail it to the utility company because they actually accept them, or at least most do.
Yeah, you might have to do a money order.
The entire video is over 13 minutes, but the TLDR is that after months of the bills becoming bigger and bigger despite them not using more electricity, Marilyn finally demanded the roommate to give her the account info so she could actually call them herself.
Here we go.
This past month, it was over $600. And I was like, I was barely here in February. I was traveling. I had everything unplugged. Why the is this so high? I asked my roommate for the account number. I ended up calling and I got this lady named Miss Brown. I basically asked her, hey, why is this bill so high?
And it's safe to say the information was shocking.
Mrs. Brown basically gives me the rundown of the bills and she tells me, hey, so this is the original bill, but you also have the payment plan that you made. Payment plan? Can you elaborate, Mrs. Brown? What fucking payment plan? And for what? She basically tells me that my roommate made a payment plan back in September for the $2,600 something amount that we owed.
So apparently the roommate was just hiding the fact that she hadn't paid the bill and was now also trying to use a payment plan to deal with it. And I'm not sure if Marilyn was even asked to pay more to help pay off the debt under the guise of, oh, the bill is just higher now. But that would be crazy if she was.
Bro, this is what them high costs be doing to some of these people, man. Because it looks like, you know, damn. Out here just scamming and scheming, doing the most, like fucking your roommate over.
Apologizing, and she tells me that it wasn't intentional, that she made a payment plan of $100. Do you think I believe her? No, obviously not. But she said she made a payment plan of $100 and she didn't want to make it a big deal because she wanted to handle it herself.
But regardless, this whole scam situation was unknowingly what led EK to taking over the lease when she did so.
Thankfully, the lease ends in June, so we won't have to talk after this. The friendship is out the window. I basically told her that. I told her I don't trust her anymore. Trust is out the window. I told her I wasn't paying for this month or this past month because the bitch owes me money.
But I guess after all the context, it kind of makes sense that Marilyn might want to wipe her hands of this whole situation and, you know, just want to move on with her own life and find someone that she can actually trust as a roommate. It's kind of just crazy that she now dealt with not one, but two crazy roommates. One scamming her, allegedly, and the other one, I guess, just trying to expose her in a 30-part TikTok series over a dish rack. Okay. I have had some interesting roommates over the years, but I've never had to deal with anything like that. It's just crazy to think about. Like, just imagine someone scams you out of money while lying to you and then try to band together with your new roommate to call you the greedy one.
That's funny. Yeah, I mean, that sounds like New York, man. You gotta, man. Everybody on that case. All right, we might look at not Brittany Renner never thought her ex would do this. We got one from O'Shea. We might check out right here because I was gonna do the Brittany Renner expose from the academics, but we'll just see what O'Shea got. He just dropped this.
Yeah, I recently moved to Mississippi because I was in LA and was dating a bozo. Moved to Atlanta with him.
In April 2026. Megan Thee Stallion came to Instagram to expose the breakup between her and Klay Thompson. And the allegations against Klay Thompson were brutal. Allegedly, he was cheating, had bad mood swings, treated her bad during the basketball season, and of course, he did not want to be monogamous. And Klay Thompson had never been in a scandal to this magnitude before.
I should have put that, boy, if you don't sit your ass down somewhere. Sit your stupid ass down. He didn't want to be monogamous. Damn. Yeah,
Thompson had never been in a scandal to this magnitude before. Even though he's had relationships and breakups in the past, no one has ever seen Klay Thompson involved in a scandal. And that's important because, number one, Klay Thompson is a black man that is not known for dating black women. And number two, Megan Thee Stallion's fans came after him, calling him all sorts of names. But the question is, how did Klay Thompson respond?
He's been on Instagram Live on his boat, also posting story pictures like this one, also on his boat. Despite returning back to social media, he has yet to address his very public breakup with Megan Thee Stallion. Or the elephant in the room, her claims that he cheated.
Klay Thompson acted as if this did not bother him at all. He went back to social media, went on about his life, and went on interacting with his fans, completely ignoring the allegations against Megan Thee Stallion.
Yeah, he was ignoring it, but somebody in the chat was like, boo. Big mama cell phone, boo. Was she mad? He happy? What the hell? Why you booing?
Just
and then she might just be saying boo, like boo, yeah, that's my boo thing. She might be trying to get B next up.
But guys, I really gotta be honest. I've always noticed when it came to black men in the media, whenever serious allegations come up against them, black men are not able to respond to these things. If they do respond, they look weak, like Safari. But after all, Klay Thompson is worth more money than Meg Thee Stallion, and in many cases may be more popular. So it would be.
Rohan says, I used to follow Britney. Why'd you stop following Britney? I imagine she's probably posting pretty good pictures and stuff, probably good content. She looks like she's a good content creator, you know what I mean?
He's stooping down to her level.
Shawty's still bad as shit.
What if the reverse was true? What if the woman was
I got off of social
bigger
media.
than the man, and the man himself had everything to gain by going after the woman that had serious allegations against him? In 2025, Brittany Renner divorced Kevin Gates, and she ended up in a new relationship rather quickly with a brother by the name of Rashad Scroggins, also known as Director X17. This guy was largely unknown to the public. He seems to be in the industry somehow. He was coming out saying that he was going to marry Brittany Renner.
I love this woman, educated, motivated, beautiful, great mom. Bro had a 20K Instagram followers, did well for himself, and soon to be a great wife, a real one this time.
Going to be a stepfather in all of the things. And for a while, the relationship was looking good. They were going out, hanging out places, going on trips. They even had a podcast. He was one of the reasons why Brittany Renner converted back to Christianity.
Allahu Akbar.
But all of a sudden,
Yeah, I recently moved to Mississippi because I was in LA and was dating a bozo, moved to Atlanta with him.
Dang.
Shots were fired in a major way.
Did the man dirty, dating a bozo. Shawty, you knew he was a bozo already before you even, you were trying to bounce back off of something real quick. I'm just gonna give him a chance. This isn't my normal standards, but I'm gonna lower them.
Again, she's calling this guy a bozo, saying that he wasn't worth her time. And then
I don't care how public, like even the last guy I was with, I don't care how public we are. I don't care what we talked about, what we did. If you met my son, bye.
Dang.
Yeah. Let your mother love you.
Here's Brittany Renner taking shots at the brother again. And you know me, I had to go and look at his Instagram, but at the time he didn't have any post up. His page was largely locked and he didn't say anything about it. So I said, well, number one, maybe the allegations that Brittany Renner is saying about the guy is largely true, or maybe he's just ignoring it, or all of the above. But then I got a notification. Mr. Rashad Scroggins actually did respond to Brittany Renner. He got tired of all of the hatred that he was receiving. He decided to clap back in a way that nobody has ever done when it comes to Brittany Renner. While Brittany Renner had to move back home to Ocean Springs, Mississippi, Mr. Rashad Scroggins posted this from Barbados. And he says, everything ain't a lesson. Yes, it is. Sometimes the ocean reminds you who's in control. Thought I was jumping in the Caribbean Sea for a quick swim. The current had other plans. I drifted a little bit further than I expected. I was fighting the water harder than expected, made it back, but it reminded me of something. Just because the water looks calm doesn't mean it is. On the surface, people can appear one way, but give them the time in space. It only took 2 seconds to feel it. Ooh-wee. You might be on the wrong current. This was a direct shot to Brittany Renner.
Fired on Brittany.
This was an indirect shot to Brittany Renner. But the question is, why didn't he come back and address her the same way she addressed him.
The worst way to handle disrespect is to clap right back because you're gonna look like an ass. So sometimes a man needs to take the perspective of a real alpha and just stay silent and handle it like a stoic.
Makes sense. Or
so when a woman says something to you, or when she's messing with you, to see how you'll respond to her silly little words, it's all designed to get a reaction out of you.
You see, Brittany Renner was trying to get this young man to respond, to get a reaction. And this is important to know because he's not talking about her. He doesn't mention her. This is very similar to
me. To me, it didn't sound like she really wanted a reaction though. The way that she sounded, she just said, fuck yeah. Like, she seems to be the type that she might be jaded enough to be able to just move on quick too. Some people don't. Yeah, some people can move on quicker than others.
How Klay Thompson handled Meg Thee Stallion. But Brittany Renner obviously is upset with him. She's calling this guy all sorts of names. But he does not respond to her behavior. Just because she is doing it, it doesn't mean that he has to do it. And also,
she knows her dirty little secret, that behind that mask, behind that ego of her own self-inflated value because of her looks, she's nothing. She's an empty vessel.
He's right, you know.
Brittany Renner is empty. And she knows that she is. She doesn't have anything. We know that she's broken, and that is why she's broke monetarily. But the reality is, if he reacts with her, he's going to validate the fact that she exists. But he refuses to validate the fact that she exists because largely he understands that he was on the wrong current. He might have tried to help her. He might have made mistakes, but he understands that she's just not worth his time. And she's detonating in real time. She's destroying herself. And a lot of times as black men, when we are dealing with baby mamas, ex-wives, women who are broken, and they make all of these accusations, it's only natural to want to go back out there and to respond to these allegations, especially some of the brothers such as us that may have been raised by a single mother or in the clapback culture. Like, we got to go out there and defend ourselves. But everything doesn't need defending. And the reason is people are going to believe what they're going to believe anyway. And some people just want your energy. But the real big part of all of this is that most people are not worth your energy. As he said, once they show you who they are and they give you enough time, you understand that they're trying to get you into their misery. And when you're invested into their misery, you as a black man cannot get to your purpose. And this is what Rashad Scroggins is trying to do. He's living his life. He's taking vacations in Barbados. He's back working out. He came back to Instagram. He's back hanging out with his friends. He just went to Essence Festival. He's doing the things, he's enjoying life. But it's Brittany Renner and her hatred for everybody that's got her stuck in Ocean Springs, Mississippi. And I know it's very difficult for most men, especially black men, to take the higher road because it's always like that for us. Women are usually able to say whatever they want to say about black men. And then if you engage with them, everybody says that you're a punk or you're a loser, or this is how you act with women, you're acting like a woman. So it's a lose-lose situation. So you might as well let them do what they do. But ultimately what you will find out is that person will be baptized within their own hatred. And you just gotta keep going forward. I know it's not easy all the time. It's taken me 40 years of living to kind of understand this, and I'm not perfect yet. But miserable people are miserable people for a reason. People who are miserable make opportunities for those of us who are not. And as former First Lady Michelle Obama said in 2016 at the Democratic National Convention in Philadelphia, when they go low, we go high. Black men, stay up and take care of yourselves. So guys, what do you think?
I like that. Duke Jackson. That's from O'Shea Duke Jackson. Y'all know what to do, man. Tap in, tap in. I think that's the last react we got for tonight. It's time for Fortnite now. There's a lot more topics though. This is the last one I got prepped. It's a lot more we got to get into. We will be back on the ASAP for more reacts, but at this current time, it's time for some Fortnite. We're gonna go and jump into this Fortnite and see what the lick read. Oops. I think I still got it installed. It might, we're gonna see. Sometimes I get some technical difficulties when we run it. Okay, I think on YouTube we're gonna go ahead and end, and then we are live on Twitch. Anybody over here kicking it? If y'all know what to do.